Hey there, welcome back. In today's lesson, we're going to be doing passage 2 from a Cambridge IELTS reading test. Now, as always, when you start the reading test, what you'll do first is glance at the questions and identify which question type you're going to have to do. So let's do that together. In today's lesson, we're going to be doing this. Do you know what question type it is? It's matching the paragraphs and the statement. So a matching paragraphs question. We're going to be doing this one. In this case, it's a sentence completion task. This, very easy to identify, but many students don't like it. It's a true, false, not given task. And then finally, we're also going to be doing this, a multiple choice question. So once we've glanced at the questions, we'll go back to the text and we're going to read for gist. Now, reading for gist means we read quickly, we try to get a general understanding of the text, we try to understand the layout, we're going to quickly highlight information as we read, and we're going to focus while we read. We're not going to let our mind wander or try to read certain sections over and over again to try and understand it. We just want to move quickly through it. So you can do that here on the screen. You can also download the PDF, or if you want to do it on the screen and have it a little bit larger, then here is the text. Okay, so when I read the text, this is what I've highlighted. We might have different highlights. I've tried to focus on specific words that I think will help me answer questions later on. This is quite a complex text, so I've also made a simplified version in the PDF. If you found it a little bit difficult to understand, definitely go and read the simplified version and then return to this version. Okay, so as well as highlighting words in the text, I've also made a mental note of what is in each paragraph. So in paragraph A, we've got the background that leaves turn red in autumn. In paragraph B, we've got what we know about leaves and why they turn green. In paragraph C, we've got what we don't know. So we don't know why leaves turn red, and we don't know why they turn red if trees are just going to drop these leaves. So then the author suggests some theories. We've got theory 1 here, which is a defense against insects and other things. There's a second theory which talks about discouraging insects from laying their eggs on the leaves. And then we've got the author's preferred theory. It's called the light screen theory. There's definitely going to be questions about that. In paragraph G, the author explains this theory. In H, the author gives some evidence to support this theory. And then I is basically a conclusion where the author suggests some other questions that we could look at. Okay, so now that we've read the text, we're going to go straight to our first question. This is a matching paragraphs question. Now, it says, we've questions 14 to 18, which paragraphs A to I contain the following information? So we've got 9 paragraphs, A to I, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. 9 paragraphs, but we've only got 5 questions. Okay, we should make a note of that. So what's our strategy going to be? Well, first of all, we should read the instructions, particularly this part. You may use any letter more than once. So for example, paragraph A might be the answer for 2 questions, 14 and 15 or 14 and 16, for example. We're going to read all the questions and underline keywords. We'll do that together. We're going to scan the text to find the answer, then read for detail. Remember, the answers don't always come in order, and the answers are usually in the first or last sentence of the paragraph. So remember that. So first of all, we're going to highlight some of the words. You can pause the video and do this now on the screen or in your PDF, and then we'll do it together. Okay, let's do it together. A description of the substance responsible for the red coloration of leaves. Okay, description, substance responsible, red coloration. The highlights help me to focus here. Number 15. The reasons why trees drop their leaves in autumn. Okay, reasons and drop their leaves in autumn. Number 16. Some evidence to confirm a theory about the purpose of red leaves. Okay. Number 17, an explanation of the function of chlorophyll. Okay, chlorophyll is a technical word. It's some sort of substance. We don't really need to know anything about it, but it is going to be quite prevalent in this question. And finally, number 18, a suggestion that the red coloration in leaves could serve as a warning signal. Okay, so now that we've highlighted all of the words, we're going to look for the answer for number 14. So, a description of the substance responsible for the red coloration of leaves. We need to scan the text and find out which paragraph talks about this red coloration of leaves and substance responsible and provides a description of this substance. Now, scanning through the text, I find this. The source of the red is widely known. The source of the red is widely known. So I'm going to read this paragraph in more detail to see if this could be the paragraph containing the answer. The source of the red. Okay, so pause the video and choose, is the answer for 14 paragraph C, yes or no? Okay, I think it is. It says the source of the red is widely known. It is created by, and this is a difficult word to say, anthocyanins. So this is the substance responsible for the red coloration. And then below that, we've got the description. Water-soluble plant, pigments reflecting the red to blue range of the visible spectrum. Okay, so yes, the answer is paragraph C. Let's move on now to 15. The reasons why trees drop their leaves in autumn. So we're looking for reasons, we're looking for talk about dropping leaves, and we're looking for autumn. Scan the text and find the paragraph. Okay, when I scan the text, I find this. Discards them, but before letting its leaves go. So the idea is it's letting the leaves go, it's dropping the leaves. Let's read this paragraph in more detail to choose whether this is the correct paragraph. Pause the video and try it yourself. Okay, I think the answer is here. So rather than maintaining the now redundant leaves throughout the winter, the tree saves its precious resources and discards them. So the word discards them. To discard means to get rid of something. If you discard your rubbish, it means that you get rid of your rubbish. You no longer need it. So the answer is indeed paragraph B. It provides a reason why the leaves are discarded, why they're dropped. Okay, number 16, some evidence to confirm a theory about the purpose of red leaves. Okay, so we're looking for evidence, we're looking for the idea of confirmation, and we're looking for the purpose of red leaves. Scan the text and try and find out which paragraph we should read. Okay, again, we find it in the first sentence of the paragraph. Remember, when we're doing these matching questions, we often look for the answer in the first or last sentence of the paragraph. Let's read this in more detail. Okay, is this the correct paragraph? Yes, it is. It says there are clues out there, and then it mentions the evidence. It says one is this. Not only that, but here's another clue. Here's another piece of evidence. It has also been recognized, and finally. So yes, the evidence is all in paragraph H. Number 17, an explanation of the function of chlorophyll. Okay, so we're looking for chlorophyll, and if it's an explanation of chlorophyll, because it's a technical word, it's going to be the first time it's mentioned. So we're going to go from the top and look for this word chlorophyll. Here it is. Let's read this part in more detail. we've got the word chlorophyll, and then afterwards we've got the molecule that captures sunlight, converts that energy into new building materials for the tree. So yes, we've got an explanation of the function of chlorophyll. The answer is B. 18. A suggestion that the red coloration in leaves could serve as a warning signal. So red coloration, warning signal, scan the text. I can find this, would be easily able to mount chemical defenses against bugs. Let's read this in more detail. Pause the video, choose, is this the correct paragraph? I think the answer is here. The answer is, in fact, paragraph E. So the idea is, there's a theory that says that the leaves turn red because if insects see that the leaves are red, they're less likely to lay their eggs on these leaves because they think that the leaves could be dangerous, that they could have some sort of chemical defense, for example, something that would kill their eggs. Okay, let's now move on to the sentence completion task. What's our strategy? Well, first of all, we need to read the instruction, particularly this part, one word only. Then we're going to underline keywords. We're going to scan the text to find the answer, then read that part in detail. We're going to choose words that fit grammatically, so it might be a noun, an adjective, a verb. And remember, the answers do come in order. So let's start with highlighting the words. Why believe the light screen hypothesis? Okay, so this is all about the light screen hypothesis. By the way, pause the video and highlight yourself if you haven't already. You can do it on the screen or you can do it on the PDF that I provided. Now let's do it together. The most vividly colored red leaves are found on the side of the tree facing the something. Okay. The something surfaces of leaves contain the most red pigment. Okay. Red leaves are most abundant when daytime weather conditions are something and sunny. Okay, so we're looking at conditions here. The intensity of the red color of leaves increases as you go further something. Okay, now because this is talking about the light screen hypothesis, all of the information about the light screen hypothesis is in paragraph H. So read that in detail and first choose one word that you think fits into number 19. Okay, hopefully you've got your answer for number 19. The answer is somewhere here. The leaves that are the reddest are those on the side of the tree which gets the most sun. So, the side of the tree facing the sun. The answer for 19 is sun. Let's move on. Number 20. Again, it's all in this paragraph. Choose one word that fits into space number 20. Okay, the answer is here. Not only that, but the red is brighter on the upper side of the leaf. So upper side and upper surface are synonym phrases. Try number 21. Pause the video, try number 21, then we'll do it together. Okay, the answer is somewhere here. It has also been recognized for decades that the best conditions for intense red colors are dry, sunny days. Okay, dry, sunny days. The answer is dry. 22. Pause the video, find one word that fits into this space. The answer is here. Trees such as maples usually get much redder the more north you travel in the northern hemisphere. So more north and further north are synonym phrases. We now move on to the true, false, not given question. Lots of students find this difficult, so we're going to spend some time getting this all perfect right now. What's our strategy? Well, first of all, I recommend that you try to learn the instructions. So true, false, not given. What do these mean? Take time to understand it now before your reading test. You're going to underline keywords. We're going to do that together. We're going to scan the text to find the answer and then read that part in detail. Now, if you don't know, yes, for each one you've got a 1/3 chance, a 33% chance of getting it correct, so you may as well have a go guessing. Remember, don't leave any answers blank. The answers will come in order. So let's focus on highlighting some of the key words. Pause the video and highlight some words that you think are important. Then we'll do it together. Okay. It is likely that the red pigment helped to protect the leaf from freezing temperatures. The light screen hypothesis would initially seem to contradict what is known about chlorophyll. Leaves which turn colors other than red, so yellow or orange, are more likely to be damaged by sunlight. Okay, so now we're going to go through these questions and find the answer one by one. Let's start with number 23. It is likely that the red pigments help to protect the leaf from freezing temperatures. So we want to scan the text and find where the answer could be. Now I scan through and I find this, freezing. So we're talking about freezing temperatures in paragraph D. Let's read this section in more detail. Okay, take this sentence and decide true, false, or not given. Try that yourself now. Okay, I think the answer is here. However, there are problems with each of these theories. So if there are problems with each of these theories, then the answer must be false. It isn't likely, it is unlikely, because there are problems with the theory. So red pigment does not help protect the leaf from freezing temperatures. It is unlikely. We now move on to 24. The light screen hypothesis would initially seem to contradict what is known about chlorophyll. Okay, so again, we're focusing on the light screen hypothesis. Scan the text. Where do we find the light screen hypothesis? We find it here in paragraph F. Let's read for more detail. Pause the video, choose true, false, or not given. Okay, in this case, it says it sounds paradoxical. So in this case, it's true. Paradoxical means seemingly impossible or difficult to understand because of containing two opposite facts or characteristics. So it seemed that at the beginning, the light screen hypothesis contradicts the idea about chlorophyll, but actually it doesn't, and that's explained later in the paragraph. This was a tricky one, so if you didn't get it correct, that's totally fine. Now, 25. Leaves which turn colors other than red are more likely to be damaged by sunlight. So other than red is very useful. Here we find orange or yellow hues. Let's read this paragraph in detail. Pause the video and choose true, false, and not given. Now, we've had a true and we've also had a false, and this is the final one, so it's most likely going to be not given. And in fact, that is the answer. Remember, when you get a true, false, not given question, there's always one true, there's always at least one true, always at least one false, and always at least one not given. Okay, we're moving on to the multiple choice question, the final question of this text. What's our strategy? Well, first of all, I would consider leaving this question until the very end of the test because, well, you've got a higher chance of getting it correct, and it's quite a difficult question. You can underline keywords and scan the text to read for detail. A good idea is sometimes to eliminate unlikely options, and if you're not sure, just guess. Remember, you don't lose marks for getting incorrect answers. So, what we're going to do is highlight some of the useful words. For which of the following questions does the writer offer an explanation? Okay, so we're looking for an explanation of something. Why conifers remain green in winter. Conifers are a type of tree. How leaves turn orange and yellow. So orange and yellow, these words will help us to locate the answer. How herbivorous insects. So herbivorous means insects that like to eat plants. Herbivores are animals that eat plants. So herbivorous insects choose which trees to lay their eggs in. Okay, we've seen this phrase, lay their eggs. So we know roughly where we'll find that. Why anthocyanin are restricted to certain trees. So again, certain trees could be useful. So we're going to take all of our options and we're going to try and locate the answer. So first of all, conifers. Let's see if we can scan the text and find conifers. Okay, that's here in paragraph B. Then next we've got how leaves turn orange and yellow in autumn. So we could look for orange and yellow in autumn. Scanning, we can find this, yellow and orange. So they just changed the order. Then C, we've got herbivorous insects. Yes, and we've got lay their eggs below, so that's useful. And then finally, we've got this why anthocyanin are restricted to certain trees. We've got this phrase, some trees. Now, I'm going to read paragraph B because paragraph B has both of the things that are mentioned. So let's read that part in detail. Now, I know for a fact that the answer is, in fact, in paragraph B, which means it must be A or B. Read this and choose A or B, which is the correct answer. Okay, hopefully you've got your answer. I think the answer is here. But before letting its leaves go, the tree dismantles their chlorophyll molecules and ships their valuable nitrogen back into the twigs. As chlorophyll is depleted, other colors that have been dominated by it throughout the summer begin to be revealed. This unmasking explains the autumn colors of yellow and orange. Now we've got this phrase, this unmasking explains. So explains is the same as offers an explanation. So the answer is in fact B. Okay, now don't go anywhere. This is where the real learning occurs. We're going to listen to an audio version of the text. I'd like you to go over the questions you got wrong, maybe make some notes of some new vocabulary that will help you. Recap what you have learned from today in your jotter or just in your mind, and plan to do this test again in 1 to 4 weeks. Okay, go on listening and reading.
Autumn Leaves, Canadian writer Jay Ingram investigates the mystery of why leaves turn red in the fall. One of the most captivating natural events of the year in many areas throughout North America is the turning of the leaves in the fall. The colors are magnificent, but the question of exactly why some trees turn yellow or orange and others red or purple is something which has long puzzled scientists. Summer leaves are green because they are full of chlorophyll. The molecule that captures sunlight converts that energy into new building materials for the tree. As fall approaches in the Northern Hemisphere, the amount of solar energy available declines considerably. For many trees, evergreen conifers being an exception, the best strategy is to abandon photosynthesis until the spring. So rather than maintaining the now redundant leaves throughout the winter, the tree saves its precious resources and discards them. But before letting its leaves go, the tree dismantles their chlorophyll molecules and ships their valuable nitrogen back into the twigs. As chlorophyll is depleted, other colors that have been dominated by it throughout the summer begin to be revealed. This unmasking explains the autumn colors of yellow and orange, but not the brilliant reds and purples of trees such as the maple or sumac. The source of the red is widely known. It is created by anthocyanins, water-soluble plant pigments reflecting the red to blue range of the visible spectrum. They belong to a class of sugar-based chemical compounds, also known as flavonoids. What's puzzling is that anthocyanins are actually newly minted, made in the leaves at the same time as the tree is preparing to drop them. But it is hard to make sense of the manufacture of anthocyanins. Why should a tree bother making new chemicals in its leaves when it's already scrambling to withdraw and preserve the ones already there? Some theories about anthocyanins have argued that they might act as a chemical defense against attacks by insects or fungi, or that they might attract fruit-eating birds or increase a leaf's tolerance to freezing. However, there are problems with each of these theories, including the fact that leaves are red for such a relatively short period that the expense of energy needed to manufacture the anthocyanins would outweigh any antifungal or antiherbivore activity achieved. It has also been proposed that trees may produce vivid red colors to convince herbivorous insects that they are healthy and robust and would be easily able to mount chemical defenses against infestation. If insects paid attention to such advertisements, they might be prompted to lay their eggs on a duller and presumably less resistant host. The flaw in this theory lies in the lack of proof to support it. No one has as yet ascertained whether more robust trees sport the brightest leaves, or whether insects make choices according to color intensity. Perhaps the most plausible suggestion as to why leaves would go to the trouble of making anthocyanins when they're busy packing up for the winter is the theory known as the light screen hypothesis. It sounds paradoxical, because the idea behind this hypothesis is that the red pigment is made in autumn leaves to protect chlorophyll, the light absorbing chemical, from too much light. Why does chlorophyll need protection when it is the natural world's supreme light absorber? Why protect chlorophyll at a time when the tree is breaking it down to salvage as much of it as possible? Chlorophyll, although exquisitely evolved to capture the energy of sunlight, can sometimes be overwhelmed by it, especially in situations of drought, low temperatures, or nutrient deficiency. Moreover, the problem of oversensitivity to light is even more acute in the fall, when the leaf is busy preparing for winter by dismantling its internal machinery. The energy absorbed by the chlorophyll molecules of the unstable autumn leaf is not immediately channeled into useful products and processes, as it would be in an intact summer leaf. The weakened fall leaf then becomes vulnerable to the highly destructive effects of the oxygen created by the excited chlorophyll molecules. Even if you had never suspected that this is what was going on when leaves turn red, there are clues out there. One is straightforward. On many trees, the leaves that are the reddest are those on the side of the tree which gets most sun. Not only that, but the red is brighter on the upper side of the leaf. It has also been recognized for decades that the best conditions for intense red colors are dry, sunny days and cool nights. Conditions that nicely match those that make leaves susceptible to excess light. And finally, trees such as maples usually get much redder the more north you travel in the northern hemisphere. It's colder there, they're more stressed, their chlorophyll is more sensitive, and it needs more sunblock. What is still not fully understood, however, is why some trees resort to producing red pigments while others don't bother and simply reveal their orange or yellow hues. Do these trees have other means at their disposal to prevent overexposure to light in autumn? Their story, though not as spectacular to the eye, will surely turn out to be as subtle and as complex.
Okay, it's been a real pleasure to do that with you today. Best of luck with all of your studies, and I'll see you in the next lesson.